Welcome back to Living Local TV. Hawaii's history celebrates iconic figures such as King Kamehameha the Great and Saint Damien, who gave his life to those afflicted with Hansen's disease. This year, we celebrate the canonization of Hawaii's newest saint, a woman who continued the work of Father Damien and inspired so many others through her quiet compassion. As we celebrate all mothers around the world, here's a little history on a very special woman known affectionately as Mother Marianne of Moloka'i.
It's humbling to think that someone from among our ranks as sisters would be raised to the heights of sainthood in the Catholic Church. It is awesome.
It is official. Hawaii has a second saint, and she'll be canonized at the Vatican in Rome, October 21st.
King Kalakaua and Queen Kapiolani, they invited the sisters here to work, and believe it or not, they sent out 50 letters. Nobody responded. Marianne was the only one that responded and said, we will come out and help to take care of those afflicted with Hansen's disease. But they never mentioned it was leprosy. As soon as she found out, she said, I'm not afraid, I will come to work.
Makuahine.
Whatever she put her mind to do, she did it. I didn't know who she was until I came to work for St. Francis healthcare system. It's very important that we share who she was, what she's accomplished, and those who have followed in her footsteps, how they've perpetuated her love and her legacy. We need to teach that in our Hawaiian history classes.
Incredibly talented. She was a hospital administrator. She was the Mother Superior of the Order in Syracuse, but then coming to Hawaii, answering that plea, and had work that basically never ended.
As a highly skilled nurse, teacher, and administrator, Marianne was a pioneer in healthcare. She was strict about sanitary procedures and stayed true to her promise that none of her sisters would ever contract the disease. She was the founder of Maui's first hospital and the Kapiolani Home for orphan girls.
Saint Marianne Cope has been the mother of all people, especially the children. I think the children really touched her heart. No task that was asked of her was too much. She was there to do it in a very quiet way.
When Father Damien was dying of leprosy himself, Marianne and her sisters moved to Kalaupapa to be with him in his final hours and vowed to care for those he would leave behind.
Maybe it wasn't physical healing, but healing their spirits of rejection or healing their spirit of isolation.
You are a light.
With her, it was who was in need and how could she help.
Very special. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can be with someone who is not only very sick, but who's dying.
Her actions spoke so loudly. Nothing was too good for any of her boys or girls. She always wanted them to have the best of everything by taking care of those who really did not have other people to take care of them.
I gotta remember, Father Damien and Mother Marianne, although I asked God to help me.
Something about God's grace, when you get into a certain position, God gives you the grace to accomplish many things if you take the grace in the right direction. And I think she just took what was given to her and made it holy.
I think that's the balance that she created. Where there was sadness, she did bring hope and joy, and where there was pain and suffering, there was that sense of healing and wholeness. And there are the stories of how Murray Gibson had fallen in love with her and had actually even given her a ring and graciously accepted it, and it's in our archives, but she also was able to let him know that there wasn't going to be anything of that relationship that he was intending, and recognized what was happening within him, but knew who she was and was true to herself.
What I love about her is her not only leadership quality, but her prayerfulness and her courage. And if she wasn't as forceful and as diligent leader as she was, we wouldn't be who we are today.
Today, the Sisters of St. Francis continue her legacy in various ways through education, healthcare, and housing, especially for the most vulnerable.
So I would like to do what Mother Marianne did with the lepers. She took them in, she taught them, she dressed them up, and took care of them.
We got used to living on the beach, my son and I. Now we're getting evicted. Half of the people don't even know where they're going, and they don't even have a vehicle to travel in until Sister B came across with this tent city. She's actually letting some of the homeless live on the property with rules, but deep inside I know she wants a farm for the people to live off the land.
By filling a need, Mother Marianne's farm was born, and within weeks the sisters received a truckload of tent frames once used at the old Mauna Loa Ranch on Moloka'i. These will now be recycled as shelter for the homeless.
With volunteers and also with the future residents themselves, we'll paint, repair them, and hope we'll have these things back up and people living in them.
Because of Mother Marianne's spirit, success stories like these happen every day. And as we celebrate her canonization, we can all be inspired by this saintly woman who not only understood, but lived the true meaning of motherhood. Makuahine Meleana. He no Meleana. I think it's so amazing that Hawaii will be the only state that has two saints.
Right.
Isn't that beautiful?
I love it. I love the
and
story.
Yeah, Sisters of
Great
St.
job.
Francis, following the legacy of Mother Marianne and Saint Damien as well. So thank you very much for all the work that you do. And we thank you for joining us for this edition of Living Local with the Baraquios.